Hello everyone, welcome to the market opening bell on Friday, December 19th, your 10-minute guide to the stock market. Hong Kong stocks show mixed performance on Thursday. The Hang Seng Index opened 137 points lower, dropping 207 points in the early session to a low of 25,261 points before rebounding. It later reversed to rise 43 points to 25,511 points. For the full day, it rose 29 points or 0.1%, closing at 25,498 points. The HKEX index fell 2 points or 0.22%, closing at 8,841 points. The Hang Seng Tech Index dropped 39 points or 0.7%, closing at 5,418 points. The total market turnover for the day was 162.3 billion Hong Kong dollars. Southbound funds net bought $1.257 billion in Hong Kong stocks. Among them, net buys include Xiaomi at 903 million, Meituan at 434 million, Yangtze Optical, Fibre and Cable 369 million, Agricultural Bank of China 211 million, Tencent 107 million. Net sales include Tracker Fund at 1.422 billion, China Mobile at 1.294 billion, Sinuk 225 million, Hua Hong Semiconductor 201 million, Alibaba 155 million. According to statistics, Southbound funds have net bought Xiaomi for 15 consecutive days, totaling 14.75 billion. Net bought Meituan for 7 consecutive days, totaling 5.992 billion. Net sold Sinuk for 6 consecutive days, totaling 2.091 billion. Net sold China Mobile for 5 consecutive days, totaling 2.885 billion. Technically, the Hang Seng Index fell first and then rebounded, but turnover further declined, indicating insufficient upward momentum. Resistance levels upward. 10-day moving average at 25,616 points, 20-day line 25,727 points, 50-day line at 25,988 points. The three major A-share indexes opened lower and then fluctuated mixed. The Shanghai Composite Index closed up 6 points or 0.2% at 3,876 points. The Shenzhen Component Index closed down 170 points or 1.3% at 13,053 points. The Chinex Index closed down 68 points or 2.2% at 3,107 points. The combined turnover of Shanghai and Shenzhen markets was 1.6555 trillion yuan. The spokesman of the Ministry of Commerce, He Yadong, stated that some general permit applications for rare earth exports have been approved. The renminbi-US dollar central parity rate was lowered by 10 points from the previous day at 7.0583 to $1. The latest report from the China Index Academy, forecast of China's housing demand space during the 15th five-year plan, predicts that over the next 5 years, although the peak of the new housing market has passed, the annual influx of new urban population nationwide remains substantial. High-energy cities with continuous population inflows still have potential. The total urban housing demand nationwide is approximately 4.98 billion square meters. The report states that from the perspective of housing demand corresponding to supply, in addition to market-oriented commodity housing, affordable housing, and the sale of non-owner occupied properties by owners with multiple units will also absorb some incremental demand, comprehensively based on a conversion ratio of 70% to 80%. The annual sales area of new commodity housing over the next 5 years is expected to be 700 million to 800 million square meters. Hong Kong exchanges and clearing. Stock price rose nearly 0.9% to close at $401.8. Hong Kong EX announced a 12-week consultation on optimizing the board lot framework for Hong Kong securities market. proposing to consolidate the current over 40 bought lot sizes into 8, ranging from 1 share to 10,000 shares. The low limit for bought lot value guidance will be halved to $1,000, and when the bought lot exceeds 100 shares, an upper limit of $50,000 for bought lot value guidance will be introduced. The consultation period ends on March 12 next year, and Hong Kong EX plans to announce the results within 12 weeks after the consultation ends. Hong Kong EX stated that it referenced practices from 15 major global exchanges, most of which standardized bought lots to 1 share or 100 shares. This optimization is expected to align with the trend of consolidation and simplification of bought lots in other major exchanges. With further simplification in the future, it will make it easier for participants from mainland China and other markets to adapt to the Hong Kong stock market. As for the proposal to introduce an upper limit for bought lot value guidance, the purpose is also to lower the entry threshold for retail investors and enhance market liquidity. Benefiting from a stronger renminbi, positive operational data, and a surge in New Year's holiday flight bookings, Chinese airline stocks in the Hong Kong market continue to attract fund inflows. Among them, Air China stock price hit a new high since May 2023. China Eastern Airlines stock price hit a new high since May 2019. China Southbound Airlines stock price hit a new high since April 2023. Due to tensions in China-Japan relations, the three major airlines had previously reduced Japan routes, raising market concerns about ticket sales. However, the latest November operational data shows that growth momentum has not slowed significantly, alleviating market worries. With off-season sales data from last month still favorable, the market is optimistic about the upcoming traditional travel peak seasons, including the Lunar New Year, with positive ticket sales performance. Additionally, the renminbi is expected to continue appreciating, and as a heavy asset industry, Chinese airlines can also benefit from exchange rate gains. Mart fell 1.3%. Foreign media reported that during the U.S. Black Friday shopping festival, sales of Mart's popular IP Labubu underperformed, and resale market demand cooled. According to Bloomberg, citing data from U.S. alternative data collection and analysis firm EPID Data, as of the quarter ending December 6, Mart's revenue growth in North America slowed to 424%, more than half from the previous quarter. On the U.S. website StockX collectibles market, some Labubu items that had surged 2 to 3 times are now below retail prices, such as the Big Into Energy series. Snowflake-colored Labubu selling for about $110, below the retail price of $168, and far below the peak of about $400. Similarly, quotes in the mainland secondary market have also declined, signaling an early warning of the collectibles cycle. The report noted that a Mart spokesperson declined to comment, but stated that there are currently 60 stores and 100 vending machines in the U.S., with the number expected to double next year. Official online channels currently cover 37 countries, with 34 countries launching self-developed apps simultaneously. For offline channels, the group continues to enter global landmark locations to achieve localized joint marketing. 2 new stocks will be listed today. Xizang Zhihui Mining, stock code 2546, closed at $10.20 in the grey market on Philip Mart yesterday, up 126.2% or $5.69 from the IPO price. Excluding handling fees per lot of 1,000 shares, the book profit is $5,690. CD stock code 3881 closed at $248.6 in the grey market, down 5.5% or $14.4 from the IPO price. Excluding handling fee per lot of 10 shares, the book loss is $144. Physical AI leader 51 World has started its IPO offering 23.975 million shares globally, with 1.199 million shares in Hong Kong and 22.776 million shares in international placement, plus a 15% over-allotment option. The price per share is $30.50 if the offer size adjustment and over-allotment options are not exercised. The company expects to raise 731 million Hong Kong dollars. If the over-allotment option is exercised, the maximum raise could be $841 million. The subscription period is from December 18th to 25 to December 23rd and is expected to list on the Hong Kong HKEX on December 30. Physical AI, or embodied AI, is an advanced artificial intelligence technology aimed at enabling AI systems not only to generate content or perform reasoning in virtual environments, but also to interact with the real physical world, including perceiving the environment, understanding contexts, and executing complex actions. It is often seen as the next stage in the AI development, following generative AI and agent AI, emphasizing embodiment, meaning AI needs hardware such as sensors and actuators to achieve real-time interaction with the physical environment. Founded in 2015, world's physical AI products and solutions have been widely adopted by over 1,000 large and medium-sized enterprises globally, with business spanning 19 countries and regions. Its physical AI product systems have all achieved commercial landings in vertical scenarios such as intelligent driving, transportation hubs, smart factories, and smart energy. U.S. November inflation rate unexpectedly declined, coupled with strong performance from Micron technology boosting U.S. stocks. The Fibre index VIX fell 0.75 points or 4.3% to 16.87. The Dow Jones rose 65 points or 0.1% to 47,951 points. The Nasdaq rose 313 points or 1.4% to 23,006 points. The S&P 500 rose 53 points or 0.8% to 6,774 points, ending a 4-day decline. The Nasdaq Golden Dragon China Index, reflecting Chinese concept stocks, rose 72 points or nearly 1% to 7,574 points. Micron Technology's first quarter revenue beat expectations, with its stock surging 10%. Other AI stocks also rose, with Oracle up nearly 1%, AMD and Nvidia up nearly 2%. Other major tech stocks generally rose, with Tesla up over 3%. Alphabet and Meta rose about 2%, while Apple rose steadily by 0.1%. According to reports, Alphabet's Google is pushing a project codenamed Torch TPU to make its Tensor Processing Unit (TPU) AI chips better compatible with PyTorch, the most widely used AI software framework globally, fully compatible with customers who have built the technical architecture on PyTorch, and becoming a viable alternative to NVIDIA's Graphics Processing Units (GPU). Sources say Google is also considering open sourcing some software to accelerate customer adoption. PyTorch is an open source project supported by Meta Platforms and is one of the most commonly used tools for engineers developing AI models. The project is a set of pre-written code libraries and frameworks that automate many common tasks in AI software development. Since its release in 2016, PyTorch's development has been closely tied to NVIDIA's CUDA software, which the market considers NVIDIA's strongest moat against competitors. According to reports, OpenAI has begun preliminary discussions with investors for a new round of financing, which could value the company at about $750 billion, with a total financing amount potentially up to $100 billion. It's understood that negotiations are still in the early stages and details may change. The $750 billion valuation reflects investors' confidence in OpenAI's long-term strategy. Sportswear retailer Nike announced after the close that its second quarter earnings per share were 53 cents, higher than the market's expected 38 cents. Revenue was $12.43 billion, also higher than the expected $12.22 billion. Strong North American sales offset a decline in Greater China. North American sales grew 9% to $5.63 billion, while Greater China revenue fell 17% to $1.42 billion. However, investors remain concerned about the impact of rising tariffs on the company, with its stock falling 5% after hours. The U.S. November annual consumer price index inflation rate unexpectedly dropped to 2.7%, below the market's expected 3.1% increase and also below September's 3% increase. The core inflation rate was 2.6% for the week ending December 13th. Seasonally adjusted initial jobless claims fell by 13,000 to 224,000, slightly below economists' forecast of 225,000. The data reversed the surge from the previous week, indicating that the labor market remains stable in December. Our stock pick today is Yangtze Optical, Fibre and Cable, stock code 6869. Yangtze Optical, Fibre and Cable, YOFC, recently completed a new H-share placement, issuing 70 million shares at the placement price of 32.26 Hong Kong dollars per share, raising net proceeds of approximately 2.229 billion Hong Kong dollars. About 80% of this will be used for developing overseas business, mainly to enhance the capacity of existing production bases and expand overseas markets, while the remaining 20% will be used for general working capital. The group is actively implementing internationalization strategic measures, continuously improving business and capacity layouts to cope with trade protection risks. After initially completing the localized capacity layout oriented towards global customers, it will comprehensively enhance international operational capabilities, promoting benchmarking and synergy between domestic and foreign production bases in various aspects such as production costs, raw material procurement, product research and development, and quality control. To optimize operating efficiency, the group's communication network engineering projects have also achieved continuous market expansion in the Southeast Asian market. In the first half of 2025, the group achieved overseas business revenue of approximately 2.7 billion yuan, a significant year-on-year increase of 52.8%, with a more diversified revenue structure. On the basis of the proportion of overseas business revenue to total revenue being stable above 30% for 4 consecutive years from 2021 to 2024, it further increased to 42.3% in the first half of this year. After completing the preliminary diversification strategic layout, the group has deeply developed various business directions. In the field of optical transmission components, the company's subsidiary, EverPro-X, achieved rapid business growth in the data communication, consumer, and industrial interconnection markets. In the first half of this year, the optical transmission component segment achieved revenue of 1.44 billion yuan, an increase of 54.6%, with a gross margin of approximately 40.7%, an increase of 18 percentage points compared to the same period last year. In other diversification directions, business progress has also been continuously made. In the industrial laser field, YOFC Everphoton continues to enhance core competitiveness, achieving growth in business scale and improvement in profitability in the first half of this year. The group completed the acquisition of Penta Laser Zhejiang in July this year, which will enable the integration and synergistic development of laser and laser equipment businesses in the industrial laser industry chain. In the field of high-purity quartz materials, the optical quartz component R&D and industrialization project has progressed smoothly. The project will utilize its independently developed technologies and equipment to expand the application of high-end quartz materials in optics and other fields by extending its manufacturing platform of fiber-grade high-purity synthetic quartz. In the submarine cable and marine engineering field, the group has quickly completed the integration of the submarine cable manufacturing platform, Yangtze Jiangsu Marine Technology, which is expected to achieve rapid business expansion. In the third-generation semiconductor field, YOFC Advanced Semiconductors production base in Wuhan completed the first wafer offline in May this year, building a complete process flow and a comprehensive process platform, and constructing the first fully automated overhead crane handling factory, Auto 3, in the silicon carbide industry, which can achieve efficient utilization of production resources and maximize manufacturing efficiency. Currently, the above diversified businesses are still in the early development stage, in the investment phase, and are expected to have a positive impact on the company's operating performance in the future. Suggested buy price 43.5 Hong Kong dollars, target $48, stop loss $41. I do not hold the above stock.